think we're good? Are we good? Hello, hello. Welcome back to Ace Attorney. Oh god, that's loud. Oh god. The music just kicked in for me. We will give it a minute and see who pops in, if YouTube deigns to let anyone know. Meanwhile, we can hang out with, Buddy. Hi, Buddy. I need to get a camera and just put it right there, like right in front of where this table is. Because inevitably he gets on it every day. Maybe I should just move the other one, huh? Just move the other camera. Let's see here. Okay. Whew. Move you. There we go. There we go. Whew. Hey, Silent Konami, Jeff. Gandalf just about rolled off the table onto the floor. Good job, buddy. Say hello. Oh, I missed. There he is. Hi, buddy. You're stupid. Don't do it. Don't roll on the floor. I am doing better. I was good enough that I was able to clean, which, after you spend a week and a half sick in bed, cleaning becomes, like, your immediate priority afterward. So yeah, things are getting back to normal. I've been doing some work and some writing. Silent Hill Symbolism is going up tomorrow, finally. Jeez. But yeah, finally feeling better. I've been on the meds for like a week. It takes a full month for for this kind of medication to actually have a real effect. So I'm probably still gonna be really tired for a while, but way better than being so tired all I do is sleep all day, so we're getting there. Alright, Turnabout Samurai, Day 3. Hey, Delvin. Alright, yes, it is October, and we are in the offices of James Scott Farron. Or Phoenix Scott Wright. That was a close one, huh, Mia? Really? Too bad, I'm sorry I missed it. Oh, Maya's back. Maya, where did your bosoms go? Oh, wait, now you're back to... It's so weird. I guess physically they want to be sure you realize the difference between the two sisters, but the fact that she doesn't, like... Oh, it's just so weird. Underage girl goes to being 20-year-old sister with big bosoms. It's so weird. Mia is pretty, though. So what happened? Well, I think I've got a pretty good idea who did it. I'm glad he does, because I don't. I don't. It's been a week and I forget most of what we figured out last time. Oh, man. Now all I need is a motive and proof. Wow, good going, Nick. I guess it always weirds me out that she calls him Nick. I guess Phoenix. Nick, it makes sense, but I always think of him as Phoenix. Under the initial trial system, tomorrow is the last day we have. Oh yeah, because the trial system in this universe is batshit. I wonder how realistically it's connected to the actual Japanese system. I know nothing about the Japanese court of law. I do know that it's pretty strict, that the skew towards the defense always being guilty is kind of true. That is realistic. But I don't know if it's as ridiculous as it is in this universe. Hey, Akatsuki, Lobsel. Initial trial. What's that? That's the new court system they introduced 2 or 3 years ago. They had so many cases in the system, they decided to speed the process up. Under that system, trials have to end in 3 days. Psh! Pretty much. That is, ridiculous. Hello, John Cruz. Welcome. We've no time to waste. That is correct. Gandalf is here to give us love and support. He's been so affectionate lately. I posted a video on Twitter the other day where literally he climbed onto my lap and just headbutted me for 10 minutes. From what I've heard, the Japanese system was pretty messed up when these games were first being made. Fascinating. I wondered how much of a correlation there was between the story being written here and, like, if there was a political and a personal message kind of being, you know, that's missed in the West because we don't know the Japanese court system. I wonder, I'd have to do some research to be sure, but that sounds interesting if it's true. I did find out from a different YouTuber, I don't remember who it was, I found it on Twitter, that apparently after the first Ace Attorney game, which is this one, fans were so in love with the idea of Phoenix Wright and Miles Edgeworth together romantically, it was such a huge thing that the developers noticed it and decided to go all in. Like, they researched yaoi manga, which is, you know, boys love. They decided to write the story in that style and to really go big on the gay vibes between the two characters. Now, they are not ever explicitly said to be gay, probably because it's hard to get that kind of stuff published ever. But I found that really interesting that they actually kind of embraced that when they realized their fans liked it. Hello, Robert and Zako. Hey, Kim. Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of people that are like, subtext is bullshit, text or nothing, because, you know, I get it, gay baiting and everything sucks, but, especially in an industry like comics or video games where there's a lot of oversight, sometimes subtext is as much as they're allowed to give. Alright, moving on to, I guess we'll go talk to Big Hairy Man. Hey, buddy. Mr. Wright, you did very well again today. Thank you. Oh, thanks. Could you not look like you're about to burst into tears? Is that what that expression is? Because that is not how I interpret that expression. That expression looks like he's kind of in the middle of a really bad trip and thinks he's about to be attacked. So he's getting ready to punch someone. Let's see, why didn't they include the fourth game confuses me. Probably because it wasn't made by the same, like, I don't know how many of the team changed, but I know that the first three were made by, like, the same director or writer, and then it changed with the fourth one. He didn't even want to do 4, I don't think, but then at the time it was like, this is making so much money, we have to keep going. And honestly, the fourth one's my favorite, but, yeah, I'm not surprised that they put the original 3 together, because they were meant to be, they were written together. Gandalf. I hope y'all can't hear that. His toy is so loud. Edgeworth is always seen as rich, while Wright is always not poor, but clearly not well off. Yes, also very astute. And I don't know how much... In the American version of the game, we keep getting sidetracked, but who cares? Edgeworth and Clavier and Francisca, I probably said that wrong. A couple characters are coded as German or European, where I think in the original Japanese, they were coded as American. But of course, to have, if they were going to set the game in the US, to have those characters still be seen as foreigners, they had to change it to Europe. But they probably were trying to say something there as well, that the characters were from the US. Edgeworth, I think, is Japanese, but adopted by the US guy. What's his face? Von Karma. And what an ironic name, Von Karma. You must have really wowed him in there. And could you wipe that grin off your face? Hey, WP, only 1 day left. Let's make it count. Yeah. Oh, there's not really anything I can do to help. Haha, I'm not really sure what I can do either. Please, this is no laughing matter. Could you tell me more about Miss Vasquez? Oh, the producer? She's well respected in the industry. They say she's a genius. A genius? She's been at Global Studios for 5 years now. Right or wrong, nobody dares tell her different these days. Why is that? Ever since she came on board, we've had nothing but hits. Global Studios was on its knees, but she picked it up and made it shine. Oh, and what? Nothing. Forget it. I've only heard rumors anyhow. Rumors. Hey, Faku, welcome. Can you tell me anything about Mr. Manella? Oh, he used to be a minor straight-to-video director. Straight-to-porn video director, probably. Oh, I'm glad to be back, Jeff. Something in his work caught Vasquez's eye. She brought the Steel Samurai idea to him. Now everyone knows the name Salmonella. I hear he's pretty much at her beck and call, though. Whenever she says, jump, he asks how high and all that. I can imagine him being at her beck and call, though I can't imagine him jumping. I was wondering about Mr. Hammer. He was a big star back in the day, right? But then he just dropped off the face of the earth. Oh, yeah, you're right. In fact, he was my role model when I started in the business. But he just stopped taking on big roles. That's when he began appearing in little productions at Global. How could he do that? I was really looking forward to a sequel to Samurai Summer. He just gave up being a star 5 years ago. Actually, now that I think about it, that was right when Miss Vasquez came to Global. Huh. 5 years ago. Alright, I'm gonna look at my microphone. Can y'all hear that? You see Gandalf playing, and he's not even in the camera to be cute. It's just the ball going round and round. And if I get up and move it, he's totally gonna stop. Hi. Are you being cute? Can we see you now? Yep, now we can see you. Why do you gotta make noise when Mommy's working? Huh? Huh? Ow. Ow. Ah. Now you can't make noise. Alright. Oh no, the camera! What happened? Ah, it aimed too high, I guess. Oh, it fell. Here we go. Alright, if y'all can't hear the cat toy, I'll let you play with it. I can hear it, it's so annoying! Alright. We can go back to the studio. I'm gonna guess that Vasquez definitely has something to do with the murder. Alright. Oh no. The old windbag sure is quiet today. You know, this place is really peaceful like this. Nick? I think her guard's down. Yeah? I bet we could even eat those donuts in the guard station if we wanted. I don't know about that. You eat, you die. Woo! She's alive! What's the story in this game about? You are a defense attorney, and your, teacher was brutally murdered, and her younger sister was framed for it. You end up saving the younger sister, who is Maya, the girl in the kimono, and now you two are partners, and you work to solve, mysteries. And she has magic powers. She can talk to ghosts. I was wondering about Dee Vasquez, the producer. Oh, the studio bigwigs love her, so she always gets her way. She seems bitter. Do you not like the producer? Look, the studio people don't want me talking about her, so sorry. Definitely some secrets. Can I ask you about Salmonella? He's soft, a pushover, does whatever Vasquez tells him to. She treats him like dirt, but I think he likes it. Well, why would anyone like being treated like dirt? That doesn't make any sense, does it, Nick? No, it doesn't, Maya. Oh, so many things go right over her head. Hey, Patrick, welcome. About Mr. Hammer. I heard about what you said today, cheeky whippersnapper. Poor old Hammer, you drag his star down from the sky and stomp on it. Calling him a criminal, a thief. I won't forget this. Uh-oh, she's really pissed this time. You listen to me. My poor old Hammer would never do such a thing. Why would he steal Power's costume so he could sneak by me? He would never stoop so low. It's impossible. Well, hey, Marianor. Welcome. And Nathan. Lots of folks today. Whew. I guess we'll start here. Think back to the day of the murder. Mr. Hammer put on the costume. Then he left from here to go to Studio 2? Right. But why? I wonder if someone called him, like the director or the producer. Curious. Hey, Silent Hill Warrior. Hey, Nick. It's Miss Vasquez. Hello? Hello? Maya, you should at least try to be polite. I don't know, this lady is, pretty, standoffish. I'm watching the clouds. That's all she had to say, apparently. Excuse me, Mr. Hammer came here on the day of the murder, and... Shh! Perhaps you didn't hear me. I'm watching the clouds. I'm not interested in talking to you. Okay. Do something, Nick. She's really ticking me off. Oh, dear. Will she say anything about anyone? Mr. Powers wasn't the killer. You don't have to cancel the Steel Samurai. I think I'm tired of the Steel Samurai. You did it. Nick, she did it. She's the killer. My Fey blood speaks to me. I know it. I know it. Oh, dear. I was wondering if you could tell me about Mr. Manella. If you must talk about that man, perhaps you could talk about it in the trailer. By yourselves. Okay. She really does not want to talk to us. Alright. Wasn't the assistant cleaning up yesterday? Funny, it still seems pretty messy in here. I guess she was still on a high from getting that rare card she needed. Alright, let's check some stuff out. This is where they had that meeting. There are documents and paper cups scattered around. Interesting. Nothing in here, just some paper. Yep. It looks like they were designing a set to use for the show. They've got some figures. Yep, this is the same. Yep. Alright. Nothing here right now. Oh man, now I want a cheeseburger too. Why'd you say that? Now I'm hungry. Alright, looks like we can't go to Studio 1, so I guess we'll go to the employee area. Hey, Cyrene, welcome! I guess they're not filming today either. I did want to see them filming just one time. Well... This trial will be over and done by tomorrow. You can come see them film later. I guess. This is where you found that bottle of sleeping pills, right? Uh-huh. I wonder if there's any other clues lying around. Oh, no! No, 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 no touching! Sorry, pal. Didn't mean to frighten you. Didn't mean? I almost had a heart attack. I guess I can be a little dramatique at times. Oh, I love this man. I suppose it's the actor in me. Oh, boy. Oh, yeah! Everybody, the Ace Attorney games are on sale right now on the Nintendo store. I think they're pretty affordable. And I think it's all of them. This one is the first 3 games is available on Switch. All the games are available on the DS, which is sad. I want them on the Switch. Put all of them on the Switch immediately. Thoughts on doing Final Fantasy symbolism? I do have a couple videos on Final Fantasy. I did one on Final Fantasy 12, and I'm working on a series on Final Fantasy 10. I just haven't finished the next episode yet. It'll come this month. Everything has been really slowed down by illness. Ahem. Anyway, I'm here to examine the plate on that table. Wait, are you looking for sleeping pills? Yeah, traces thereof. So you're looking for traces of the sleeping pills, how? For a thorough examination, I gotta take the plate back to the precinct. But I have the capabilities to make a cursory examination right here. Our science guy gave me some testing solution. This reacts to these sleeping pills, see? If there's traces, that'll change color. Wow, neat! Well, Detective Gumshoe, what are you waiting for? Now, everything in due time, pal. Which one of the Attorney games would you recommend me try first? Definitely play from the beginning, because they have an overarching storyline that will not make sense. It's really not playable from just jumping into a game later. You'll miss a lot of context, you won't know who half the characters are, and you can get the first 3 games as part of the trilogy pack for really, like, I think it's like $10 right now, so that's 3 games for $10, so it's really affordable. I think you can get them all for like $30 at this point while they're on sale. It's not a physical release, but, yeah. I only have one of the games physically anymore. I have the 4th one. Right. Well, the testing solution on the plate changed color, alright. So the food on this plate had been laced with sleeping pills. Looks like it. Aha! How goes your investigation? To tell the truth, it's a real mess, pal. Some people think we should pursue the case we already have against Powers, and some people think we should switch suspects. What do you think, Detective? Well, I hate to admit it, but I'm not sure I buy the case against Mr. Powers anymore. I feel kind of bad for Mr. Edgeworth, though. How is Edgeworth doing, anyway? Mr. Edgeworth is out of control. He was in the waiting room and he crushed this paper cup with hot coffee in it. Whoa. Talk about burns, pal! Oh my god! This dramatic guy! Just standing in the... Just imagine him standing there, brooding to himself and getting so angry he crushes... Edgeworth, why are you like this? Oh, man. No, these games really are not standalone, because they do kind of follow the life of Phoenix, and then later his, children, his, employees, the next generation of people. I think there are some that are standalone, like there's a side story, but I think it only came out in Japan. You have to emulate it to play it in the West. There's a lot of games. There's, first 3, and then... So there's 6 in the main series. There's 2 that are a side story that are focused on Edgeworth. There's 2 that are a alternate universe kind of in the past sort of game where you play it in, Meiji era, I think? I don't know. And then there's a crossover with Professor Layton. There's a decent amount of games in this series, but I would definitely play them in order. I have not played them all myself. Crushing paper cups. Bottles. He just had some kind of epiphany. Whatever happened with the empty bottle? Oh, the bottle of sleeping pills? Well, I got some good news for you. They found the victim Jackhammer's prints on the bottle. So that means... Yep, it sounds like the one who put Powers to sleep was none other than the victim. So I was right. Aha. Alright. Yeah, sadly, I don't know how well this series has done in the West or not, but over the years, they've stopped releasing them physically, and then they just stopped releasing them in the West altogether, which is really sad to me, because I love all of them, and I want them all. Hello. What are you doing here? Oh, I was just cleaning up the dressing room. I guess WP won't be using it anymore, so... What? Why? But WP's innocent. Yes, and I'm really grateful for all you've done, but this week is the last episode of the Steel Samurai. Ugh. I agree, Akatsuki. I really wish those games would be localized so bad. And imagine, especially nowadays, with how everybody loves the Switch so much, and freaking everything on the Switch does so well, if they put out a collection of all the Ace Attorney games, or a lot of them, like they did with the trilogy, I get releasing them individually might be difficult, because it is a series that you need to play. Kind of like Kingdom Hearts, you need to have played them all. But if they did like Kingdom Hearts did, and released a collection and put it on the Switch, it would make bank. I'm just saying. Mr. Hammer. I was wondering if I could ask you about Mr. Hammer. Yes? On the day of the murder, he went to Studio 2. I thought he went to Studio 1. He stole the Steel Samurai costume, too. What? Why would Mr. Hammer do something like that? Oh. I guess the rumor must be true, then. The rumor? Yeah, Miss Vasquez, that producer, had some kind of hold on Hammer. She had some dirt on him. He'd do anything she said, apparently. Some dirt? What dirt? Dirt, you know, bad stuff. I know what dirt means. About 5 years ago, they were filming a movie starring Mr. Hammer. They were using the new studio, Studio 2. Some sort of accident happened during filming. After that, they never used Studio 2 again. They left the film set the way it was, too. The film set? Was that trailer part of the film set, then? What do you mean, the last Steel Samurai? I know it's a shock, but nothing can be done to save it now. Whoever really did kill Mr. Hammer also signed the Steel Samurai's death warrant. No, no! Also, I hear Global Studios is going to change its programming. They're not going to make kids shows anymore. What? Why? I don't know. It's sad, but that's what Global Studios decided. Why aren't they going to make kids shows anymore? I love that this intense music is still playing, even though now we're talking about a kids television show. The studio bigwigs don't want the Steel Samurai around anymore. They want to forget all this ever happened. They want it quiet, you understand? It makes sense. How can they just do that? What about all the kids who love the Steel Samurai? It's okay, I'm sure the kids will be fine. They'll find a new hero to follow. No, that can't be true! Poor Maya. If the program just ends, they'll be heartbroken for sure. Nick, say something! Yeah. I think evidence rather than words is called for here. Here, take a look at this. Take that. And this is... A fan collected all these photographs. The kids love the Steel Samurai. The show shouldn't be canceled just so some adults can save face. I would think you would understand that better than anyone. Yeah, but I don't think she has a lot of control over it, you know? You're right. Okay. But what can I do? Well, for starters, you can tell me something. Tell me what it is that Global Studios is so intent on hiding. Tell me about this accident 5 years ago. Okay. Could you tell us what happened 5 years ago? Well, I can tell you what I've heard. Apparently, 5 years ago, someone died, and it was Hammer's fault. Someone died? It was an accident, of course. Anyway, the producer, Miss Vasquez, managed to hush it up. And that's the dirt she had on Hammer? And that's why Mr. Hammer would do anything Miss Vasquez asked him to do. But it was an accident, right? Why didn't they just make it public? Well, you know Mr. Hammer was a big star back then. They were afraid about what would happen to his career if word got out. I see. You know who knows more about this? Miss Oldbag. She was here at the studio back then, you know. Thanks, we'll try asking her. If she'll talk. I was just about to say, good luck! For once, Miss Oldbag does not want to talk. What? You're still slinking around? If you like the place so much, why don't you take over for me? The old windbag doesn't look so good. Everybody's doing their darndest to forget Hammer. Who do they think made Global Studios what it is today? Hammer. It's all due to Hammer. She's starting to froth at the mouth, Nick. Maybe we should keep a safe distance. She might have rabies. I wanted to ask about 5 years ago. Who told? Who did you hear that from? Nichols. Nichols? Nichols, Nick. Penny Nick. Oh my gosh, her name is Penny Nichols. Her name is Penny Nichols. Gandalf is still playing with that thing. You are, having a good time, huh, buddy? Right. Anyway, we heard about the accident. It was during filming with Jack Hammer. He killed a man, didn't he? Whippersnappers! Dredging up dirt on someone's past like that, and the recently departed, no less. I suppose you think this is fun? No, I'm just doing my job to protect Mr. Powers. And you claim that Hammer stole Powers' costume. You expect me to believe that rubbish? Or do you have some kind of proof? Proof that Hammer stole Powers' costume. Yeah, the music in this game is very cool. I really enjoy it. Alright, it's gotta be the... Here's my proof. What? What's a little empty bottle supposed to prove? It's a bottle of sleeping pills, with Mr. Hammer's fingerprints on it. What does that prove? I'm sure old Hammer had some sleepless nights. Where's your proof he used those pills on Powers? Mr. Powers ate a T-bone steak for lunch, correct? Well, yes, so... This is the plate he used to eat the steak. There are traces of sleeping powder on the plate. He cast, sleeping. He cast sleep. Have you considered a soundtrack for your own game, or will you have one made from scratch? It really depends. At this point, I've been seeking out free-to-use music, free to use if you buy a licensed music, that kind of thing. Trying to get a feel for what kind of music I want to use. If I have enough funding, I may try and find somebody to work with, but we'll see. Speaking of the game, we're doing pretty good so far. We're a little above 50%, and it's only been a couple days. Be sure to check it out if you want to learn more about the Kickstarter. Kickstarter, the Gaming Muse. I'll post a link in a second. I see. Poor Hammer. Yeah, I don't think he really did anything horrible. I imagine he was, I don't know. I don't know what he needed the costume for, but I don't think he was, like, trying to murder anybody, was he? I legit don't remember. Maybe he was. Oh, no, I don't remember. Here we go. Hello, buddy. You did wrong, Hammer. Rest your soul. Miss Oldbag? Okay, you win. I'll talk. I'm tired, see? Tired of holding it all in. I wonder about these character backstories. Was she called Miss Youngbag? That's pretty great. Maybe she was. Miss Oldbag. You're right. 5 years ago, there was an accident. A fatal accident. What's worse, a paparazzi took a photo of it. That photo, well, it caused quite a stir. And guess who made it all better? Vasquez. She has ties to the... I'm gonna guess, part of what I think makes this story make a little more sense is this was supposed to be in Japan. That would probably be the Yakuza, and the Yakuza is really built into a lot of places. I don't know how much the Mafia is in I mean, probably? I don't know anything about the Mafia. She silenced that paparazzi. That was the beginning. After that, she became a force to be reckoned with here at the studio. I see. But you have to understand, poor old Hammer never meant any harm to anyone. Miss Oldbag, hold on a minute. Poor Miss Oldbag. Here, take this. Photograph? Wait a second. This is the picture. Is this the trailer in Studio 2? Hammer was supposed to fight with a bad guy on top of the stairs there. He pushed the other actor and the man fell onto the flower box fence. But how did you get this? It was a long time ago. I don't feel much like talking about it. I understand. Alright. To Studio 1. Yeah, there it is! The bent fence. There's some flowers here. Wow, so pretty. They're taking good care of these. Don't get too close. That fence... Okay, so they're not going to actually comment on the fence, but that's definitely where he died. This is where Salmonella and D. Vasquez ate. There's nothing left on the plates. Hey, so they ate T-bone steaks too. Something wrong. I don't know. I'm getting this funny feeling. Something about this just feels odd, you know? Can't say I do. It's because they ate T-bone steak and the bones are gone. There's something up with that, but I guess we aren't going to find out right now. She's not even looking. Where? What? Where did you get that? Well, old bag. Old? She means the security lady, Miss Oldbag, Nick. Right. Anyway, Miss Vasquez, you hid this incident from the press, didn't you? And you used it to control Mr. Hammer. The wind. Huh? It's gotten stronger, don't you think? The wind. This lady. Your conversation interests me. Let's talk about it more inside the trailer. Boy, oh boy. Nick, she went inside the trailer. You came. Well then, what was that you were talking about? Why is she so eager to talk all of a sudden? Miss Vasquez, you were using that accident. You were blackmailing Mr. Hammer so you could control him, weren't you? That's why he was doing kids shows for petty change. So I'm a blackmailer now. Well, that's what it was, wasn't it? I mean, sure, it was an accident, but you used it to drag Mr. Hammer down from his rightful place as a star. Oh? I haven't pulled anyone down from anywhere. Mr. Hammer's career went sour of its own accord. But you were the cause. You pressured him. And to think it was just an accident. Excuse me. What is this all about? You keep saying accident, accident. How are you so sure? What do you mean? Must I spell everything out for you? Think. What would it be if it wasn't an accident? No. No way. You mean Mr. Hammer did it on purpose? That is what I mean. I don't know. He looked pretty surprised in that photograph. And she looks pretty stressed right now. Where's your proof? Can you prove it? Just think. Would he have let me run his life for 5 years over a mere accident? And I ran him hard, believe you me. But the security lady said it was an accident. Oh, well, she was a big fan of Hammer's, you see. She jumped on the reporter who brought the photo into the studio. She wrenched it out of his hands, she did. Gave him a few bruises, too. So that's why she had the photo. She's an old fool. Of course, all the reporter would need is the negatives. He could have made a copy. But he didn't. The only copy of that photo is the one you hold. Give it to me, now. What? This is valuable evidence! Uh-oh. Oh boy. Who are they? Professionals. Who do you think they are, buddy? Their outfits scream mob. They're good at erasing various things. What do you think? Would you like to be erased? What? The trial ends tomorrow. How unfortunate. It's a shame you'll have to miss it. Tell me why. Why do you want this photograph so badly? This is Mr. Hammer's dirt, no? Why should D. Vasquez care about it at all? I'm sure you'll have plenty of time to think about that where you're going. So long, friends. Boys, a race away. No! Hold it right there! Gumshoe with the rescue! I heard everything, pal. D. Vasquez, you're coming down to the precinct with me now. Not bad. Very well. It appears this contest will be decided tomorrow then, in court. I'll be looking forward to it. Okay, she's definitely guilty. She is definitely guilty. You okay, pal? Sorry I was a little late with my entrance. I don't get many chances to practice that sort of thing. Detective Gumshoe. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I was really scared. Huh? Don't mention it. Just doing my job. Detective Gumshoe? Sorry, it's just, I've wanted to say that line ever since I became a detective. Oh, he's so cute. Okay, I've got one more job to do today. I'm sure we'll run into each other again soon. Why does he breathe so hard? Oh. Yeah, I had that thought too, like, there was 4 against 1 there, but I guess maybe they didn't want to erase a police officer, be too high profile. Well, Nick, it looks like we're getting close to the bottom of this. And who's at the bottom? D. Vasquez. Yeah, she's definitely guilty, but I don't quite get how or why yet. Like, obviously, I bet the guy that she was blackmailing tried to, I don't know, turn on her, probably, and she killed him? I don't know. Okay, the next time that screen pops up that shows the whole courtroom, look at Edgeworth. I know that the graphics are trying to show that he has, like, a flare in his jacket, but it looks like he just has the thickest ass. It looks like he's so thick. Oh, it's really great. Oh, man. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Today will be the final day of this trial. I hope both the prosecution and the defense will be able to present decisive evidence. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth, your opening statement. In yesterday's session, the defense presented us with a new theory for this case. He claims that the scene of the crime was, in fact, Studio 2. Today, I will call on people present in the Studio 2 trailer that day. From their testimonies, the truth will become clear. Very well. Edgeworth seems a bit on edge today. Aw, thank you, Kim. That's very kind of you. You may call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth. The prosecution calls Miss D. Vasquez to the stand. Miss D. Vasquez is a producer who was present in the Studio 2 trailer that day. Hey, Tanya, welcome! Will the witness state her name and occupation? D. Vasquez. I am a producer for Global Studios. On the day of the murder, you were in Trailer in Studio 2, jeez. As everyone here knows, yes. I dislike needless banter. If you must pontificate, do it when I'm not here. Oh man, poor Edgeworth has been having the worst time with witnesses in this case. Very well, Miss Vasquez. Please give the court your testimony concerning the day of the murder. Nick, I know she did it. Make her pay. Right. If she's guilty, I'll catch her with her pants down, so to speak. Don't ever so to speak that again. Let's not. I entered the trailer, a little before noon. The meeting began at noon sharp, ended at 4. There was to be a rehearsal afterwards, so we went to Studio 1. I was fatigued, so I had Sal take me. At 2:30, we took a 15-minute break in the meeting. Sal and I ate T-bone steaks on the table in front of the trailer. We found Hammer's body later when we all went to Studio 1. That's all. Oh, that's pretty great, Nathan. I have a question about one part of your testimony. You were fatigued, so you had Sal take you? The van. There's a van at Studio 2. Aha, so they drove there. I had him take me in that. I thought it might be risky to walk, what with the monkey's head toppling over. Aha, so clearly the van is going to be important. Very well, Mr. Wright, your cross-examination. It's going to take some more gameplay until I feel sorry for Edgeworth. Oh, man. Edgeworth is a character that once you've played through and know all the story, it's like, oh shit, I love this guy. I'm so sorry, child. Like, I just want to hug him. He's a great character, but he does start as a total asshole. There is a lot to his story. We might see a little of it today, depending on how fast we finish this one, because eventually the larger arc of the story goes into his past. His troubled past. This is the final battle, Nick. Let's do it. The day of the murder. I entered the trailer a little before noon. The meeting began at 12 sharp, ended at 4. Must be a rehearsal afterwards. I wonder about that. Began, I entered a little before. By yourself? Yes. And you didn't stop in at the employee area? No. Are you always this terrorist? Yes. Obviously. The meeting began at noon sharp. Did no one leave during the meeting? No one. Come on, let's talk a bit more about that. The witness did not come here to engage in idle conversation. Stop interrupting the testimony. The same could be said to you, Mr. Edgeworth! Please stop banging on your little desk, it hurts my ears! Oh, man. Oh, this lady. There was to be a rehearsal. Let's see. And when exactly was that? I've forgotten. Maybe you could try remembering? No. The meeting ended at 4 and the rehearsal was scheduled for 5. I would think it was between those times. You would think? Come on, all you did was state the obvious. I was fatigued, so I had Sal take me. You had Sal take you? What is that? Oh, no. It means what I just said. I had Sal take me in the Studio 2 van. Oh, right. 2:30, we took a 15-minute break. And what were you doing during that time? Don't hit your desk. It irritates me. Yeah, Mr. Wright. Oops. It was a 15-minute break. Sal and I ate steak. I wonder, why do they, I guess, okay, it's because the T-bone part is a big clue, but they keep having to say it was a T-bone steak. I want steak. Do you have someone who can verify this? Sal. No, I mean someone else. One person is enough. If she committed murder during that break, she wouldn't have had time to eat. If I had some evidence that proved she didn't eat that steak. Well, Nick, find anything? I kinda wish she'd said a little more. It's hard. I think she's pretty used to being the boss. But I'm sure you'll find some kind of contradiction in what she said somewhere. wonder. The van doesn't look very driven, does it? It kind of... I don't know what that point would be, though. What would be the point of that? Gotta prove that during the break, she didn't do what she said she did. Began at 12, ended at 4. There was to be a rehearsal, so we went to Studio 1. I was fatigued, so I had Sal take me. 2:30, we took a 15-minute break. Sal and I ate steak in front of the trailer. There has gotta be something. Time of death at 2:30. Says they took the break at 2:30. That fell at 2:15 and everybody was trapped. He left at 2, so he was there. He was there. Right. There's something about the monkey that... Can I look at him? Went to Studio 1. I was fatigued. Yeah, so should I do it here? They couldn't have gone to Studio 1 at 2. Wrong. I was wrong. It's gotta be the fact that they couldn't have left at 2:30 like she said. We went to Studio 1. Okay, okay. Meeting ended at 12, and okay, started at 12, ended at 4. But by 4, wasn't it clear? 2:30, we took a 15-minute break in the meeting. Sal and I ate steak. Alright. Let me try this one, and if it didn't work, I'm gonna look it up. Yep, I'm wrong. I am not getting... Let's see here. Okay. Ace Attorney, Turnabout Samurai, walk through. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. Alright, so day 4 trial. Okay, the 7th... Oh. Okay, you know the murder took place during the break. Present the steak plate on the 6th statement? But that's not even her plate! Okay, but I was right about it being about the bones. Okay, so it's about the bones. The fact that she says they ate T-bone steaks, but her plate didn't have bones on it. How am I supposed to put all that together? Like, I caught that clue, but how would I did not think to put it here. Alright, but that's what they're saying it is. Okay. Ha! As I thought. You claim you ate a T-bone steak. But I say you did not! What's this now, Mr. Wright? Look at this. It's a plate. This plate was on the table in the employee area. Hello, Starbucks. As you can see, a large bone has been left behind, and Muse is getting hungrier by the second. Stop talking about food! Mr. Wright, need I remind you it was a T-bone steak? Exactly my point. Remember, if you will, Miss Vasquez and Mr. Manella ate at a table outside the trailer. Yet there were no bones left on the plates. The plates were bare! Miss Vasquez, do you eat bones? Tell me, how can a person eat a T-bone steak and not leave the bone? I think I know how. You ate the bone! You didn't eat it. You didn't eat any steak during that break. You took your steak and threw it somewhere, like that incinerator. I see. Then what was Miss Vasquez doing during her break? Isn't it obvious, Your Honor? Picking on Salmonella! She was meeting with the Steel Samurai. Order! Are you saying yes, Your Honor? Miss Vasquez left the trailer to eat her steak. She ran into the Steel Samurai, and then you did it. You killed him with your own hands. Mr. Wright, isn't that a little presumptuous? What kind of stunt are you trying to pull, Wright? Let him claim what he wants. You say I did it? Yes. Fascinating. And here I was worrying today would be as boring as all the rest. Very well. Let us have a battle of wits, you and I. Any day, Vasquez. Good luck, Nick. She threw a steak in the incinerator. She's guilty. Doesn't matter if she killed anyone. She deserves jail. Right? I want that steak right now. I'm 5 minutes away from ordering a pizza. I shouldn't, but I want it. Let's see. What was that murder weapon again? Oh, yes, the samurai spear. Yes. I just put it together. Oh, I just put it together. Okay. Oh, man. Oh, man. So, I think the reason that she wanted the photo that showed the guy dying on the fence was because that's how she actually killed the samurai, is she pushed him on the fence the same way. Everybody assumed it was the spear because it looked similar and the spear was nearby. Now she's gonna say she couldn't have done it because she couldn't lift the spear, but the spear wasn't the murder weapon. I am a woman of petite stature. How could I possibly use that heavy spear as a weapon? I think you would have a great deal of difficulty using that as a weapon. Pretty much anyone would. Ha! You see? Yes. However, that has no bearing on this case. Meaning, the samurai spear was not the murder weapon! Hey, Alexis! What? What is the meaning of this? The spear was found lying next to the victim's body. I have proof, Your Honor. I can prove the samurai spear was not used as the murder weapon. Take that! Wrong, Mr. Wright. But I haven't said anything yet. I know you well enough by now to know when you're going to present the wrong evidence. Oops. I can sense it too. Okay, so I picked the wrong evidence. Enough with all the sensing. Oh no, it must be the fact the spear was broken. Take that! I present my proof, the so-called murder weapon. But that is the murder weapon. Not so fast! Remember that the spear broke during the morning action scene run-through, but someone fixed the spear. It was the security lady. She fixed it with duct tape. Now tell me, how is it possible for someone to stab a man who is wearing a thick costume with this through the chest? Order! Order! Mr. Wright, what are you driving at? Think about what you're... Silence! I'm the one testifying here, and I will be heard. Are you quite sane? Are you even aware of what you're saying? If the samurai spear was not the murder weapon, then pray tell what was. How was Hammer killed? Well, Mr. Wright, can you tell us what weapon was used to kill Mr. Hammer? Hi, Dodo-che. I hope I said that right. Thanks for joining us. Would I make a claim like that if I couldn't tell you what the weapon was? I'm afraid your confidence can sometimes be unfounded, Mr. Wright. Very well, let's see this murder weapon then. Look at this photo. Look at this photograph! That song immediately popped in my head! How many years has it been since that dumb song came out? And every time it comes to my... Oh. Look at this photo. What is this? Why, that's Jack Hammer standing at the top of the stairs. Order! Order! If I cannot have order, this trial will be suspended. Mr. Wright, what is this all about? This photograph is from 5 years ago. There was an unfortunate accident at Global Studios. This is a photo of that very accident. Not a word of this was leaked to the outside. It was a close-kept secret at the studio. What does this have to do with the current case? Mr. Edgeworth, you still can't see it? See the fallen man in this photo? See how the fence post pierced him through the chest? What? Are you saying? Yes. What happened 5 years ago has happened again! Mr. Wright, continue. It's 2:30 p.m. on the day of the murder. Miss D. Vasquez meets Jack Hammer outside the Studio 2 trailer. Then she did it. She pushed Mr. Hammer off the stairs onto the fence. Just like Mr. Hammer had himself done 5 years ago. Though whether she did it on purpose or by accident, I cannot say. In other words, the victim, Mr. Hammer, he died in the same way he caused another man to die 5 years ago. Precisely. Ironic, isn't it? Ho ho, very creative, Mr. Wright. I could use a man like you on my script writing staff. You deny that what I say is true. Mr. Wright, let's say, for the sake of argument, that Hammer died at the trailer, as you say. Yet the body was found at Studio 1, was it not? And in the evil magistrate's costume, no less. Are you then claiming I carried the body to Studio 1, and returned to the trailer all in the space of a 15-minute break? How could I have disposed of the body? The van. The van! The break in the meeting at the trailer lasted 15 minutes from 2:30 to 2:45. Could Jack Hammer have been pushed off the stairs to his death, then carried to Studio 1 and placed inside his costume? There wasn't enough time. Indeed. Well, Mr. Wright, how could she have dealt with the body? I know what, she definitely put it in the van, but I don't know which one of these leads to that. Hello, chill out, welcome. What if she had another way to carry the body, other than with her own hands? For instance? Actually, for that matter, there was no need for her to do the deed in 15 minutes. And there was a way for you to carry that body. Interesting, let's hear it then. Mr. Wright, please show us how she carried the body. Miss Vasquez, you carried the body to Studio 1, and you used the studio van to do it. Recall your testimony. There was to be a rehearsal afterwards, so we went to Studio 1. I was fatigued, so I had Sal take me. There was a van there, right? I had Sal drive me. You used the van to carry the body to Studio 1. Then, before everyone else got there, you put the body into the magistrate costume. Objection! Hold on, Wright. Don't forget, it was Sal Manella that drove the van. Are you suggesting that Mr. Manella was a conspirator? Of course Sal Manella has to have been a conspirator. The body had to be placed in the van and put into the costume. There's no way Miss Vasquez could have done that alone. Also, don't forget they had to dispose of the steel samurai costume. They had to, because it was covered in Mr. Hammer's blood. They probably burned it in that small incinerator. Well, Miss Vasquez, shall I continue? No need. You're smarter than you look, Mr. Wright. I lose, you win. It was fun. I win? So what happens next? Don't question me! Don't you have anything to say? What would you like me to say? Huh? I lost? Something like that? I just said that. Wait, so you mean D. Vasquez, so it was you? You killed Jack Hammer. Who can say? Huh? Are you sure I did? Mr. Wright, we just engaged in a battle of wits, and the result of that battle, you proved the possibility that I murdered Hammer. Right. But that is only a possibility. Proof is another thing altogether. You lack decisive proof, Mr. Wright. Uh-oh. What? Uh-oh. Hi, Kelly. Welcome. Order! Mr. Edgeworth, your thoughts? Of course, it's as the witness says. Certainly, it does seem very likely she did it, but, there's no proof. Edgeworth isn't sure! Well, I came here as a witness today. If you've no more questions, I'll be leaving. What do I do now? Miss Vasquez, you did it. That wasn't a question. Did you do it? No. Mr. Wright, yes, Your Honor. I'm not sure that question helped this court get any closer to a verdict. What do I do now? I'd like you to testify again. Testify again? Know when to give up, Mr. Wright. Think about it. Even if I were to testify again, what's the point? I can only say what I said before. The truth, Mr. Wright. I've already said all there is to say. What would happen if I said it again? You'd ask the same questions, get the same answers. A waste of time. Damn. To come so far only to fail. As it seems, there are no further questions. I would like to end the cross-examination of the witness, Miss Vasquez. Objection! Yeah, that's my boy! Yes, Mr. Edgeworth? I was hoping to come up with a question while I was objecting, Your Honor! See, he started his turnaround. His redemption arc begins. I did it. Oh, I see very well. Your Honor, I request that the witness testify again. You're the prosecutor, are you not? Why are you badgering me? I'm your witness. I just want to hear your testimony again. Does this make any sense to you, Your Honor? I don't see that we have anything to gain by repeating the last several minutes. Edgeworth, you useless gay! Right? Ugh. Mr. Edgeworth, I too see little point in making Miss Vasquez repeat herself. What exactly did you want her to testify about? Well, yes, oh my god. Indeed, verily I say, ergo. I want to hear about what happened after they found the body. After they found the body. Very well. The witness will testify to the court concerning this matter. Nick, why did Edgeworth... Who knows? He probably realized she did it too. But, wasn't he the one that said he always gets a guilty verdict? After all that? Edgeworth. Oh, their gay hearts. Bless them. I was with Sal and Oldbag, the security lady, when we found the body. The assistant was there too, only Powers was absent. I immediately called the police, then Powers showed up. The security lady, Oldbag, was quite agitated, pointing at Powers, saying he did it. I asked to be left out of the proceedings. I went back to the trailer to get my script and direction notes. Then I went home. I see no issues raised by this testimony. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination. Okay, Nick, we're close, real close. She may be acting tough now, but if you put her on the spot, she's sure to falter. Find the key you need and twist the truth out of her, Nick. Right. What time was that? We were to meet at 5 for the rehearsal, so I'd say it was then. When exactly did you and Mr. Manila arrive at the studio? About 10 minutes before. I wasn't stuffing any bodies into costumes, mind you. Where were the other employees when you got to the studio? Excuse me. They weren't there yet. Well, then you could have put Hammer in that costume with Salmonella's help. Oh? What did I just say? Did I not just say I wasn't stuffing any bodies into any costumes? You should try to listen to what people are saying, boy. Boy! The witness will continue her testimony. The assistant was there. Mr. Powers was taking a nap, correct? So he says. Did no one go to call him? Remember... What? There was a dead body lying in front of us, yet you expect me to be calm. You certainly seemed calm enough when I accused you of murder. Wait a second. Wouldn't that be the other way around? The other way around? You discovered a murdered body and one person was missing, right? Wouldn't you normally go looking for the missing person? I have to agree with the defense on this one. Well, Miss Vasquez? Logically speaking, perhaps. But no one there was thinking very logically, I assure you. Also, without his steel samurai costume, Powers doesn't really stand out. We often left him on the bus when shooting at location. No one noticed he was missing? Poor guy! Well, I suppose that explains that. Very well, you may continue. I immediately called the police. What was everyone else doing at that time? No one said a thing. It was silent, completely silent. So we stood there until Powers finally arrived on the scene. Sorry I'm late. Then, silence. Dead silence. Kinda like this. Silence. Hey Nick. Why is everyone so quiet? Someone should do something to lighten things up. The security lady was pointing... Oldbag, the security lady. Why did the security lady think Powers had done it? She said because she saw him going toward the studio. Right, the Steel Samurai. Did the detective arrest Mr. Powers based solely on the security lady's word? Perhaps not. She seems to have also given the detective that photograph. Of course, I heard all this after the fact. That photograph, meaning the one taken by the security camera. She's not known for exhibiting the best sense of judgment when it comes to Hammer. I don't think there's anything in there I can use. I asked to be left out. You asked to be left out? Yes. It seems that everyone else was questioned, and I'm really not fond of that sort of thing. But you can't just decide who the police will and won't question. Thankfully, the studio thinks otherwise. They were nice enough to understand that since we were in a meeting, there was no way we could have been involved. Thus, they covered for us. Covered for you, or covered it up for you? There must have been a lot riding on it with all those bigwigs at the meeting. I'm sure her professionals helped convince everyone they didn't require questioning. I went to the back. The script in your direction notes? No, wait. She was looking for a script. Yes, they're quite valuable. It wouldn't do to have them stolen. No, I guess not. Wait a second. I thought you came to Studio One for a rehearsal. Why didn't you bring your script and notes? Well, I was under the impression we wouldn't be able to rehearse anything. Why? There was a murder after all, but you shouldn't have known! Nope, she shouldn't have known going there. Yeah, Edgeworth caught it! I have an objection to the witness's last statement. Huh? Think! Miss Vasquez said she didn't bring the script because there wouldn't be a rehearsal. Don't you see what that means? She would have had to know about the murderer before going to Studio One. Ha-ha! Edgeworth gotcha! Order, Mr. Edgeworth. What you have just said is a reasonable observation. However, I find it hard to understand why the prosecution would make such a move. Or are you thinking of a career change to defense? I appreciate the concern, Your Honor. I will stand by my statement, however, regardless of how the court sees my role here. Now, Miss Vasquez, do you have an explanation? That's my boy! I can't believe Edgeworth is helping me! So the prosecution is in cahoots with the defense. What kind of court is this? No matter. I think you misunderstood me. I had a perfectly good reason to believe there would be no rehearsal. Very well, the witness will change her testimony to reflect this reason. I knew that Hammer was injured and couldn't do any action scenes, so I left them behind. That's not true, because she wasn't there, and only the old lady and what's-his-face knew. How did you know about the injury? How did I know? Sal. He told me. But he wasn't there! You have to find something to peg this on her here, or everything we've done till now will have been wasted. I believe in you, Nick. Go get him. Okay. Something here. What do I present? Maybe it's the picture? I'm gonna double check, because we're not running that well, I guess. Oh, I did it! You knew that Hammer was injured. Don't you think that's a little funny? I mean, it was the Steel Samurai who was injured. It was Will Powers. Yes, that's it. She thought it was Hammer because Hammer was pretending to drag his leg in the costume. What? Mr. Wright, explain yourself. Yes, Mr. Hammer is dragging his leg in this photo, but that's because he was pretending to be Mr. Powers. Pretending? One person was injured in the run-through that morning. That person was Mr. Powers, not Mr. Hammer. Now, why did you think it was Mr. Hammer who was injured? Because she saw him dragging the leg. I already said it was Sal who told me. That's right, he must have gotten it wrong. I think not. Mr. Manella was at the run-through that morning. He would have known it was Mr. Powers who was injured. He saw it happen. Why would he tell you the wrong person? Miss Vasquez. Actually, you didn't hear anything from Mr. Manella. You saw Mr. Hammer limping with your own eyes. Yes, but wasn't it Mr. Powers who was injured? Yes, but remember, Mr. Hammer was dragging his leg too. He was pretending to be Mr. Powers. Ah! And when he was doing this, well, it would have had to have been after he put on the costume and went to Studio 2, where he was murdered! Exactly. Miss Vasquez, You met him, didn't you? You saw the Steel Samurai limping. And Mr. Hammer was in the Steel Samurai suit. That's why you were confused. That's why you thought it was Mr. Hammer who had been injured that morning. Gotcha! I will have order. Witness. Can you refute this claim? Yeah, let's see you sneak out of this one. Me and my pipe are done. Very well. I have a question for you. Uh-oh. She gonna turn it around again? Why are the real killers always so persistent? Why in the world would I want Mr. Hammer dead? Yes, he'd fallen on hard times, but he was a star. I had nothing to gain from his death. Nothing. Yes, you would need a motive. Why would she have killed the victim? If there is a reason, it is unclear to this court. Does the defense have anything to say on the matter? In other words, can you prove she had a motive? Okay. I have proof, and I'll show it to you. I present to the court evidence as to Miss Vasquez's motive in the murder. The blackmail! This is my proof. This is the photo from before. This photo reveals the motive in this murder. I'm right, aren't I, Miss Vasquez? 5 years ago, Mr. Hammer was at the height of his fame. With Dee Vasquez's help, a terrible accident was swept under the carpet. Ladies and gentlemen, the case currently up for trial began on that day 5 years ago. Ironically enough, that accident precipitated Mr. Hammer's fall. His fall from stardom. His guilt weighed him down, no doubt. However, you, Dee Vasquez, used Mr. Hammer. You made him work for you for petty change. Bringing us to the present day, and Mr. Hammer's last role as the evil magistrate. Yes, undoubtedly, it was a constant source of shame for the ex-star. One moment, Mr. Wright. We are talking about motives here, yet you have only talked about Mr. Hammer. It almost seems as if it was Mr. Hammer who had killed Dee Vasquez, not the other way around. Vasquez. I apologize. Vasquez. What motive would Miss Vasquez have? Yes, that's right. According to what you say, I would have had no reason to kill Hammer. He was a good source of income for me. But I bet you he tried to kill you. And I never get rid of useful men. It's a policy of mine. Mr. Wright, please explain Miss Vasquez's motive for murder. She had no motive, Your Honor. What's that now? It was Mr. Hammer who was out for blood. All Miss Vasquez did was push him off the stairs in self-defense. What's that now? It's simple. Mr. Hammer was intending to kill Miss Vasquez. What? What? Your Honor, Jack Hammer drugged Mr. Powers with sleeping pills. Jack Hammer snuck into the dressing room and stole the costume. Jack Hammer wore the costume to fool the security lady into thinking he was Powers. He was gonna frame my boy! Then, he made his way to the trailer. And for what purpose, you ask? To kill Dee Vasquez, who had so cruelly taken advantage of him all those years. So, you did do it, didn't you? Yes. I am guilty. It was me. I gotcha! Someone call an ambulance. There's blood everywhere. We're too late. Miss Vasquez. What? What happened here? Manuel fell from the trailer stairs. Manuel! Manuel! Miss Vasquez, please try to remain calm. No! No, how could this? Did she know him? It was an accident. Mr. Hammer was doing an action scene and... No! Manuel! Don't touch him, Miss Vasquez. No! Okay, so clearly she knew him. This was personal for her. Please don't die. Please. Congratulations, Mr. Wright. I lose again. I like how this image still shows her with the pipe that she already broke. Mr. Edgeworth, where's D. Vasquez? In the waiting lobby, Your Honor. As calm and collected as ever. I see. Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor? It appears you have brought about yet another miracle. I thank you, Your Honor. I think not, Your Honor. Will Powers was innocent. That he should be found so is only natural, not a miracle. Yes, you're right. Very well. This court finds the defendant, Mr. Will Powers, not guilty! Ta-da! Uh-oh. Is the mic getting staticky? Wow, those readings look horrible. Is it staticky now? Why are you like this, Mike? I thought removing you from the stand would work. Oh, the game has no audio right now. It didn't stop it. I just was messing with the mic. Is it any better? I'm gonna have to replace this damn mic. I don't know what to say. Thank you so much. I'm just glad you're okay. Yes, but it's sad. I know now that Mr. Hammer stole my costume. It's bad enough he wanted to kill Miss Vasquez, but to think he tried to frame me for the murder. It makes me sad. Tell me why, Mr. Wright? Huh? Tell me, why did Mr. Hammer want to blame me? Well, this is what I think. Mr. Hammer wanted to put the blame on you because... Because you were the Steel Samurai. Because I was the Steel Samurai? Mr. Hammer was a big star once, but he was reduced to acting in a kids show, and as the villain to boot. The kids loved the Steel Samurai, and so he hated you. I think I understand. He could have just told me. I would have changed places with him any time. I think you're missing the point. Thank you. I'm just glad it's all over. So am I. That guy's too sweet for his own good. Oh. Did that help any? Tried to straighten out the wire. Good lord. It looks like it's from the readings on the... Yeah, it looks like they're still static. This sucks. I'm gonna have to buy a new mic. I guess we'll finish up this episode, and then next time I will have a new mic, and we won't have to deal with this anymore. Congratulations, WP! Oh, thanks to you, I'll be able to don the Steel Samurai outfit once more. I can't wait to get back into that sweaty costume and... Uh-oh, they destroyed it. Uh-oh. Is something wrong? No. Oh, the show's over. Of course not. Nick? Edgeworth! He looks so frightening! Say something, Wright. I'm not good at small talk! Oh, this gay disaster. What? That was too bad, Edgeworth. You don't waste any time gloating, do you? No, I really want to thank you. Vasquez would have gotten away with it if you hadn't stepped in. Pleased to meet you. I'm Powers. Edgeworth. God! I'm a big fan of your work, Mr. Powers. Liar. Right? I must say, I hadn't expected to meet you again after all these years. Meet again? However, in retrospect, it would have been better had we not met. Thanks to you, I am saddled with unnecessary feelings! Oh, Edgeworth! You are a huge gay disaster. Unnecessary feelings? Yes. Unease and uncertainty. Aren't those kind of necessary? They only serve to get in my way. You listen to me, Phoenix Wright. Don't ever show your face in front of me again. That's what I came here to tell you. Oh, you dumb, dumb gay idiot. Mr. Wright? Was that guy your friend? What? Friends? As if. They're rivals, right, Nick? For now we are, I guess. Huh? Why do I get the feeling I'm missing something? Come on, Nick, tell me. What's the deal with you and Edgeworth? To be continued. And so the curtain closed on another trial. I caused quite a stir by revealing that accident from 5 years ago. It was the talk of the town. Thankfully, Global Studios rethought its programming change. They went back to making kids shows again. Nick! This is it! The new show starts today. You're gonna watch it with me, right? I'll admit, I was kind of surprised. I didn't think they'd seriously go through with it. You have to buy trading cards too, okay? We have to trade with Cody and that assistant. Fine, I'll do it. Isn't it great that WP gets to play the lead again? I wonder if they'll show his real face this time. I don't know. I don't think the world is ready for the real Will Powers. Aww. Amazing. Thank you so much for joining me, folks. Sorry about the mic. I've been trying not to spend money, but clearly this thing is like super broke, so I'm gonna have to... I'll try to replace the cord first, but I think I've used 2 cords with it, so I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. Thanks again. Be sure to check out the Kickstarter. Doing pretty well on funding the game so far, and I hope to post more info about it soon. Silent Hill Symbolism will be out tomorrow at 4, and we'll have the usual live premiere. What else? Follow me on social media, all the usual, blah blah blah. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye!